the prayers, if that's the correct way of saying it. Is there anything else I should be doing? I know, I try to do what you mentioned, reading the Bardo, and you said something about the King of Prayer, so I did that too.
Oh, that's good. You're drawing King of Aspiration Prayer.
I mean, since I'm not near him and nobody is going to put a phone in his
Yeah,
ear.
you're not doing the hearing liberation. You're doing King of Aspiration. So that's great.
Yes, is there some, how should I visualize when I'm doing it? Because I'm not near him, what should I be thinking for?
So when someone passed away in Puerto Rico, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you know that person very well, or?
Well, he was a Dharma friend, but I wouldn't say I will go out with him or anything like that, but he was a Dharma.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh, so then that's good. So you can do King of Aspiration, whatever just you're going to thank him and doing dedications. So anytime like you can do. So when you all wanted to help something, like comes good intention arise in your mind, so that time then chant the short Amitabha prayers, reborn Devachin.
Yeah.
Kept going that again and again.
Okay.
Yeah. So usually prayer, like relatives pray for relatives or friends, like pray for disease. And when you think about that person disease, so then right away just visualize the Buddha Amitabha, chant Buddha Amitabha prayer. And so that's the great way to do.
Okay.
So because first your thoughts arise, so you thoughts of the persons arise in your mind. So then same right away just chant Amitabha prayer, short one. Okay.
Yes.
Kept
okay.
going, not stop that often and often.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy to do that. The short, we usually chant every day. Emma Hong Om Tar Sanje Nawan Taida. So
dedicate to him.
Yeah, this is a transform to the Buddha Amitabha's form. So that means like when you think about that person, just then right away visualize the Buddha Amitabha, chant that prayer. So then that's a help for that disease. Then you don't have to think any other than that or more than that, okay? So they kept simple.
Okay.
And when the thoughts arise, so then you just right away visualize the Amitabha, chant that short mantra, short prayer.
Yeah. Thank you, Khenpo.
Yeah, that's the best way to you can help.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, so Gail has a question, right? Scientific question, no more.
No. No, just I like to meditate, so I'm a little sleepy today. So it's going to be harder for me to relax in the radiance of the natural mind because I might fall asleep.
Yeah. So then you need questions and not going to sleep.
Yes, I need something to listen to. I'll have to think of something.
Okay.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
What is the process for contemplation?
Process for contemplation?
Yes.
So what that means, like process contemplation means?
That means to investigate an idea or a thought.
Yes, okay.
Do you mean how do you do it?
Yes.
How
what
to
is the-
meditate, you mean, or?
Well, I don't know whether to contemplate during meditation. If so, then I don't know how to do that. Or whether
So you know
contemplation is
that how to
done
do,
outside
okay?
of meditation, huh?
So now, when you listening Dharma teaching, so that is called contemplate meditation. Your mind is not focused for the worldly activities. Your mind is focused with the Dharma. And when you read the Dharma text, and then you think about, meanings, words. So that is called contemplate. So then you can ask questions. See, that's also your contemplate. Some is not so clear, so you say, oh, I want this ask question. So that's also contemplate.
Okay, and I'm doing that. I'm reading
Yes.
reading stuff and picking up on stuff I don't understand and researching. So in relation to that, I have a question.
Yes, so you're doing good that one.
What is
You're doing great job contemplating.
so what is the meaning of heart of enlightenment?
Heart enlightenment.
Yes,
So you mean enlightenment, or what is it?
heart of enlightenment.
Heart enlightenment.
That's in the Bodhisattva vow, or the chanting in the in the up front in the deity book. It starts off, until I attain the heart of enlightenment. I don't know what the heart of enlightenment is.
Heart is heart enlightenment. Maybe that is talking about bodhicitta, right?
Yes.
So your really heart, your mind really wanted to become enlightenment. This comes from your heart. Your mind wanted to enlightenment, free from suffering.
Okay, so the chant starts off with, until I attain the heart of enlightenment. I take refuge in all the Buddhas and so forth. So until I attain. So maybe the right question is, what is the meaning of attaining the heart of enlightenment then?
Until enlightenment means until.
Attain.
So just attain.
Yes.
Attain the heart enlightenment, or?
Yes.
It's in the deity sadhana book.
Yes. So very simple one, actually. I don't have that sadhana right now with me.
Okay.
Until I attain the heart of enlightenment, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. Until then, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind.
So enter enlightenment, actually just enter means like starting today to enter enlightenment, I'm going to take refuge to Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, right? That one?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well,
So
that's
enter enlightenment means like when you get enlightenment, enter that. Kept going, no stop.
Maybe it
Starting
means
right now. So kept going the practicing. Not
okay.
going to stop. So that's enter enlightenment, yeah? It's a little bit too cold here outside.
yeah, it is.
I'm going into Rome, so then can give you more. Check the sadhana, give you answer, okay? Okay, so then keep going your questions. So doesn't mean keep going.
That's one that I couldn't find an answer to.
So that means keep going, no stop.
It means keep going until I attain it. Yes.
Yeah. Keep going. Your question. That means.
Don't think you get a little enlightened. You have to go the whole way. You got to get to the core, the heart of the matter.
That sounds like the point. After you've been working for it for a while, that's where you get hooked. That's what it sounds like. But
I have a question about meditation, unless you
Yes.
had more to say, Ed, did you?
no,
Yes. Please
I'm
ask
not.
question for meditation. Yes.
Okay, in the Learning Buddhism book, there's a sentence that says, the more we investigate and understand the nature of our mind through meditation, the more we will purify obscurations and develop realization. Purifying obscurations, that ties in with karma, with our virtuous and non-virtuous karma, right? Our behavior, how our thought and action throughout every moment of our day and our night. It's not that I'm meditating and actually thinking about that itself, correct? Because when I meditate, I'm trying to empty my mind.
So meditate, you mean purify obscuration, right?
Correct.
Purify obscuration, yeah. So we don't have to think about I have to purify my karma. And when you just meditate, mind is into the more investigation and the more going into nature, means like you're more study and contemplate, you're going into the meditate. Your mind is going into the resting natural state, then naturally purifying karma.
Okay.
So that's just naturally go where karma. Same is like when you cultivate love and compassion, then naturally anger is diminished.
Okay.
So heat-related is naturally diminished. And the same thing, when you meditate and the state mind is nature, it's all we create karma before, before life in this life. There also karma is exhaust.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess when it says emptiness, excuse me, emptiness is not just nothingness. Emptiness is characterized by the enlightened qualities.
Yes, yes. No nothingness. No. So yes. Emptiness means like just it's there, but it's not permanently, kind of not inherently exist.
Right. So is a definition of enlightened qualities when you recognize that, when you actually have a knowing?
Oh, you mean when enlightened is we knowing that?
Right.
I think so, yes.
I guess I got a little hung up on enlightened qualities.
Somebody's enlightenment, we don't know, but there who is enlightenment, they knows themselves their enlightenment. Yeah, so even they get a high level state, they knows, they recognize that.
Okay.
Yeah. So Bodhisattvas, they all recognize because their mind is different than ordinary people. The mind has more compassion, love for other beings. There's bodhicitta, there's no desire and hatred to others. So they don't have much their emotions. So then they always has peace, right? And then of course they have realized emptiness means this everything is not exist inherently. So they recognize that, then they don't attach to the object. No desire, no hatred to arise mind. Then of course the even not Buddha, just regular, like already in someone is in the path, on the path, has good realized, there also has a clairvoyance. They recognize what happening going on, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So mind is become more sharper, more clear. And right now our mind is deluded, you know, with obscurations, deluded mind. So practitioners like more minds, more sharper, more clear, more wisdom arise. There's more wisdom than the understanding what they're going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So see, Buddha, he says, I'm enlightened. So that means he understands, he enlightened. He said, I found the path. I'm enlightened. So he said that, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just your questions, we have to practice more, you know, more meditate. Then naturally the karma is purifying. Karma is purified, then wisdom is arising. So wisdom arises, then we know what's going on. What is the cause of samsara? What is the causes of nirvana?
I have a lot of work to do.
Yes, everyone have a lot of work to do. Not only you, so you also get already in the you know, the dharma path. That is a great too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, any questions? Anyone? No questions, right? Then we're going to meditate. Senda, no questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
So when you purify karma,
Yes.
does that change the conditions
Yes.
for yourself and everyone else?
Actually, ourselves.
Just ourselves.
Yeah, not for others.
Okay, thank you.
See, that's why it's like think about Buddha. So he is actually same as us, because regular people, right? So he purify karma, so that's purify himself. So otherwise he can purify all our karma too.
Well, no, the question is a little bit different, I think. When we purify karma,
yes.
Let's say purifying karma makes us more, you know, better to get along with people. So that's changing the conditions, right?
Oh yes, yes.
People?
Yes.
Okay, so it changes conditions.
Yes.
Okay, and everybody else working on their purifying their karma is changing the conditions, which could affect me as well, right? Or us.
Yes, 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 okay. Yes.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Khenpo.
Yes.
I just want to say thank you very much for being willing to take all the questions and for learning how to speak English so well so that we can actually ask you and get better understanding from the answer. It's so special.
Yes.
It's really rare. And I really am grateful to know you and to be here.
Oh, thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you.
What's your question is?
I don't have one right now.
Oh,
You know,
you don't have anyone. Okay.
I mean, I have questions that are not answerable. Do you know what I mean?
I see.
I don't know, Sandy, since you've talked about the trees, I have been receiving a lot of information from people about trees and where they are sentient beings. So I've been contemplating a lot of that thanks to you.
Yeah, I have as well. And Khenpo, I have a question about that actually.
Yes.
Okay. So during our discussion last week with Sandra's question, I was thinking about the Arya Sangata Sutra Dharma Pariyaya. In Tibetan, it's Pagpa Zungi Deutscher Ki Namdrang. Are you familiar with that sutra?
Not really.
Okay. There's a section in it where Vaishajaya Sena goes to arrives at in front of the Tathagata, and the Tathagata shows him all these beings that are born from mindless trees. And I didn't know if that was relevant to our discussion or if it was just an analogy.
What did this say?
Let's see, I have it right here. I wish I had it in Tibetan. Let's see, Vaisajaya Sena went up to where the Tathagata Chandravarti Kshetra was, and he had passed 96,000 million world systems. And the Blessed One said, those sentient beings arose from mindless trees. He said, Blessed One, who has seen or heard of arising from trees that have no mind? The Blessed One said, Vaisajaya Sena, have you not seen or heard of the arising of people from mindless trees? He said, Blessed One, I have not seen or heard of that. And then the Blessed One said, Vaisajaya Sena, if you wish to see, I will show you now. And then it goes on.
So that means like, what the main point is? So main point is like that just main point is like this Buddha said all these trees are sentient beings.
Yes, that the sentient beings are born from mindless trees.
Mindless trees, sentient beings born from the mindless trees.
Yes, but I wasn't sure if he was just saying that they were born without dharma. Let's see, if I go down a little bit more, it says the Blessed One said, these group of beings who arose are mindless. These people are mindless. Then each one of those 100,000 million human beings had 100 arms and they all fell down. Then when the Bodhisattva, the great being Vaishajaya Sena, had seen that, he said to the Blessed One, what is this? Sugata, what is this? Okay, and then let's see. The Blessed One said, Vaishajaya Sena, similarly, the sentient beings are born mindlessly. They cease mindlessly. Vaishajaya Sena, you should know that this body also comes about mindlessly.
So I really don't know the meaning. And main point is that just kind of like Buddha said, all the sentient beings also come from the trees, right?
I don't know if he was just I'm not sure if he was talking about just one group of people, but because later Buddhists or the Tathagata says there are young ones and old ones.
Okay, so the main point is Buddha mentioned about all these plants, trees, all has a mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes or no?
Well, it says that,
like that, right?
It says that they're born as it says, young sentient beings are born as mindless.
What means mindless?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Non-sentient means boundless, mindless.
I actually, I sent you a message on Skype, and I found it was long.
Thought you received somewhere, but then lost. I don't know where.
Okay.
So, okay, so I read that, and maybe so then when we next week we can talk about that.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So you sent the scarf, right?
I did. I found a Tibetan. I wanted to find that passage in Tibetan, but I couldn't. I don't have that knowledge. So I did find the sutra in Tibetan. So I did send the sutra in Tibetan.
So who translated that one?
This is translated by. Oh, that's a good question. Is it Dr. Diana Finnegan? This came from FPMT. The English version.
Yes. Okay, so actually, yeah. So I understand this. We have to know like this way, you know. They have different kind of levels of perceptions, or is followed by different individual level perceptions. So what Buddhas are seeing, so what we're seeing is different, you know.
Yes.
So that's the reason when Buddha he shared this teaching, I don't think so for regular beings, and maybe who has a high realized beings, like he's sharing for these things, you know.
Yeah, for Vaishyasana.
Yeah, see that's the reason. Say Buddha teaching like basic teaching is like all disciples, regular monks and nuns, lay people, and the human beings who are the same as our perceptions. So then that followed that way. So then Buddha, I don't think so. He said this all tree has a mind or something, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
So maybe he go to another like high levels to disciples. Then it's right now what we're seeing is totally different, not always the same like that way.
Oh, sure, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So then it goes totally different. So then say Buddha told maybe some his disciples, oh, you think this tree like or like this, but actually not like this, you know.
Yes.
They have something beyond in that. So that's the reason. And the one I shared a couple of times the story, like Bodhisattva, he come from other pure line, and who was with the Buddha Shakyamuni is Shariputra. So they both has different perceptions. They cannot agree each other because both has different perceptions.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, Shariputra sees the same as us. He has mind is the same thing like us as impure perception for him. Other one has a pure perception. So the reason is because he purified his karma already. And what he sees, Shariputra don't see that. Shariputra sees, he cannot see that. Totally different, opposite. And then that's the reason they both have to see Buddha. To the, you know, like, because these two is like disagree each other, they have to see Buddha who is right. And actually both are right. So now we have this discussion. Tree is alive. I said tree didn't have a mind, just tree has life. So that is like for our regular beings perception, you know. And generally Buddhism teaching, or we talk about the trees, plants have life, but we don't accept that they has a mind. But then it's a hard realizes that see just totally different, you know. And then the tree is not tree for them. Then maybe they see like many beings, a house, many beings, you know, food, And so many like kind of like one tree has one universal, like something different for their has perceptions. They see totally different what we see. So that's the reason the Buddha, this teaching is like we have to know the Buddha give it to who, you know, like that person is the same as our perception, or there has a different kind of perception. They are high realizer or just regular beings.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So think that why that's the reason when Buddha gave the teaching, it's most basic teaching is very popular in India. It's kind of more we say public teachings, everyone knows. Then he didn't give this Mahayana teachings publicly. Is the Mahayana teaching is only has like some very high educations and some realizers they receive these teachings, but these teachings didn't have publicly in India during the Buddha time. So that's the reason when come to Nagarjuna, he have worked so hard to approving this Mahayana teachings, Buddha's teaching.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So if the Mahayana is not Buddha's teaching, then the Buddha teaching no essence much, you know, not much special something. So that's the reason Nagarjuna have to work so hard to approving this Mahayana teachings, Buddha's teaching. Then after thinking about the Vajrayana teaching, it's more difficult than Mahayana teaching. So see, Mahayana teaching is you can still like use investigate, use logically approving. So Vajrayana teaching is only approving by the realization. That is more harder than Mahayana like Sutra tradition.
Sure. Yeah.
Have to approving that teaching. So that's why I say that's a reason. The first we have to know Buddha, these teachings give it to who. It's part of this basic teaching or part of Mahayana Sutra tradition or part of Vajrayana tradition teachings. So if the part of the basic teaching, then we also have to know that exactly. If Buddha says tree has a mind, that teaching is basic teaching, part of the basic teaching, then we also have, everyone have to know that tree has a mind. So that's I think is that teaching is cannot be basic teaching because we cannot accept that everyone know except the tree has a mind. We can accept tree has a life, but tree has a mind, so we cannot accept that. So no, that teaching is followed by Mahayana. That means like then that is a little bit more subtle level, more beyond the us. So that's the different levels. We have to think that way. Do you understand or no?
Yeah. Yes, I do. Yeah. Thank you so much, Paul.
Thank
Yeah.
you. So
Thank you.
yeah, I wanted to read that if I found the Tibetan, I wanted to read, you know. Yeah, just main point is they're just followed by different.
Mm-hmm.
And see, the tree is like for us, tree is alive, but tree didn't have mind. But then go to up level, tree can be Buddha because your perception is transformed.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And for us, just tree is a tree, and it's not human being, not animal. Tree is just plant. Tree has life. Tree didn't have a mind, so that we can make easily decisions. But then go upper level where more like sutra traditions, Maya Minka follows. Tree is no exist. Tree is emptiness. You know. Because tree is like, where is the mind? Tree has no any place you can find the mind. Where is the tree? Like you pick up the leaves, the branches, all part of that everywhere. you know, you cannot find the tree is exist there. Investigation, logically, tree is not be there, it not exist actually. It's tree is emptiness. But then why we can see that? Because it's emptiness, that's why we can see that. That time then we don't think about the tree has mind or not mind, just tree is anyway not exist. So then go to the Vajrayana level teachings, then tree, the person who has you know, realization, then who has realized, then these all elements, they see the 5 Buddhas. Elements, 5 female Buddhas, 5 aggregates, 5 Buddhas. So they all is become, their perceptions, everything to become Buddha for them. So then that time we cannot have a debate anything because the tree has mind or not. The tree is Buddha for that person. Because of their perception, the tree is already pure for that person.
Yeah, that helps so much. Thank you, Khenpo.
Yeah, so that's the reason we have to follow these 3 different levels. You know, Buddhas like Vinaya, Hinayana, Mahayana, Vajrayana. So Hinayana is basic teaching. It's like everything makes sense for us because it's basic. So followed by our perception. In that teaching, Hinayana, this teaching, if Buddha said, tree has a mind, then we have to prove that. But I don't think so Buddha said that in the Hinayana teaching, tree has a mind. So Mahayana teaching is emptiness. Emptiness means like actually tree is not exist. So Vajrayana teaching is king tree is Buddha, and then their king has a mind, their king has a body, their king Buddha, whatever they want tree, they can be that way, you know.
Yeah, I have a second Dalai Lama quote that's one of my favorites. From his life and teaching, from Song of a Joyful Fate. He lived between 1475 and 1542. That's in Western time. And it says, the experience of the tantric yogi is like this. The outer world is seen as a sacred mandala circle, and all living beings seen as playful gods and goddesses. All experiences become transformed into blissful primordial awareness, and all of one's actions become spiritual, regardless of how they conventionally appear. Every sound that one makes becomes part of a great cosmic song. That's one of my favorite quotes.
Yeah, that's great. See, that's like always like the realized person, right?
It's a very, very, very good quote.
Yeah. So that perception is totally different. Then they say, oh, tree has this mind, tree is Buddha, whatever they wanted to say. Their perception, that's bad.
Yeah, and they're just spontaneously breaking out into poetry and song and writing these things.
Yes, the reason is the tree is emptiness. You know, it's like that can be everything. Tree is not exist permanently, inherently not exist as a tree. So that's the reason this all our like you know our practice levels can see different. If the tree is not emptiness, then everyone have to see same thing, cannot change any perceptions. Tree is not exist, tree is emptiness. That's why these all different levels has different perceptions. So trees can be mother, trees can be son and kids, you know, trees can be food, trees can be house, trees can be Buddha. So this yogis can say everything, whatever they want, because the reason is tree is not exist, tree is emptiness. If a tree is not emptiness, a tree is permanent, then must be always the same. They cannot change anything. So that is actually proving everything is emptiness. Everything is emptiness. This house is, for our perception, is a house, but then some bugs. This is a Meru, mountains for them, not house for them, their perception. Maybe mouse also see something different. I don't think so. They see this is a house. The mouse, Khenpo see this is something different. Their perception, So then some other beings, this house is like maybe like kind of one part of particles for them, very small, tiny something. Just something dusty, something. They don't see the house. See, then some beings can see this house is a food for them. So some beings can see can be different, like not same always, because it's followed by individual or different beings that have different perceptions followed by that. That means that the house is not exist. Same thing, everything is followed by perception. And the thing about water, so here and beings see the water is a fire, like burning. If you drink, it's like all your stomach is burned. Everything's burning. Tibetans called torture, but torture means like something liquid, fire liquid, something like that. The hair and beings see like that. Their perception, the water is, for our water is. The hungry gods see that this water is nakta, means like blood, and the something like dust, dirty, and the blood they cannot drink, cannot use. So then human beings, we see the water, but higher realizers see the water is nectar. Then more realization people see the what mama kuku means like water is the female Buddha. So that's all the differences. Like even the one water can see difference, right? They cannot be same. So now we're debating like this must be water. So everyone have to see water, but it cannot see. Everyone can see water. Can't see water. So like that, we say tree has a mind or not. We debating is like that. It's everything's followed by their perceptions.
Khenpo, I have a question. This is Cheryl from Iowa City. I'm sorry if I interrupted you. I wasn't sure.
No.
I have a question about emptiness and
yes.
permanence. Emptiness, that's beyond me. I mean, I kind of think it, and I know you have to experience it and not have it on an intellectual level. But when I contemplate impermanence, I think that basically those two are just the same thing. One just is the other is impermanence, and I can understand impermanence better. So
and permanent, that's why Buddha, this basic teaching, he didn't talk emptiness because it's more deeper, harder to understand. That's why he said impermanent. So think about the basic teaching is impermanent. Then go up Mahayana, emptiness. Then go up to Vajrayana, everything is pure. So that's the difference. then we impermanent, if you who know the impermanent, so then easy to understand what means emptiness. Emptiness means like not permanently inherently exist. Everything is impermanent.
So it's a matter of, on this level, it's just a matter of words. For instance, we see a tree with, in our reality, that is a tree, but it's constantly changing. And as you said, it can be used for food or housing or whatever. It's impermanent. And that's
Yes.
happiness then, correct? It's
Yes.
because
Yes.
it doesn't exist. The word doesn't exist. The word means nothing.
Yes.
And you can't attach maybe a language to something that's changing all the time.
Yeah. All the time changing, yes.
Okay. Well, maybe someday I'll get it better, but
you get it really good.
oh.
Yes.
Well, if I could realize it, that would be okay.
Yes. That's the important to realize. And usually we intellectually understand the emptiness. Realize emptiness is different. So intellectually understand the emptiness is when you study Maya Minka teaching, you get intellectually understand the emptiness. Uncertainty, your mind, you know, like confidently, uncertainly, you understand, oh, everything is emptiness. So that is intellectually understand. But then realization is must like be same as a Chandakirti. Same is Shanti Deva, same is Malarepa. You see, they all has a realization emptiness. So then everything is like whatever they want, they can change. No exist for them, you know. So that's the stories like I shared last couple of weeks ago during the Tara teaching. So this emptiness realizes that nothing, even they put in the house, the lock up, but that cannot lock up in the house because these things are no block for them. And they can go through everywhere, wherever they wanted to go. That's the reason that in Tibet, many masters has like high realizers as a handprint, a footprint means like they can just hand is put into the stone and the hand got into the stone means they show the realized emptiness, realization, emptiness. So otherwise our hand is so soft, rope is very tight. How can you put handprint in the rope? Not possible, right? And who has realized emptiness, then the stone is no exist. Stone is no more exist tight. The hand is no more exist like soft. So also this who put the handprint, footprint in the stones, they cannot do always like that, but I learned this his stories when they're really into the natural state. They don't thinking about the nothing is exist or like exist. They're not thinking about anything, cultivating mind, but they are really into natural state. Then sometimes they touch things get handprint and footprint. Then they cannot do that. It's like kind of a, you know, like make plain and organize or expectation working expectation. They cannot do that. When they're happening, when their minds into the natural state, because of the realization state, then that time just then, you know, accidentally touch some things, you know, like happening all this footprint and handprint. If there has expectation wanted to do that, then not possible. That is called dualistic thought, conceptual thought. So long as they have that, they cannot have footprint, handprint. then must be that time is mind is non-dualistic. So that stay in that nature, and then sometimes the touch things like can make footprint, handprint.
Thank you,
So
Khenpo.
that's also, you're welcome. That's also like symbolized meaning is like pain is no exist. When you get a realization, after realization, of course, like these things exist for us, our perception, but reality really no exist. But our perception, of course, these things exist. But it's everything's impermanent that we recognize. Then everything's impermanent that's actually showing the essence is everything is emptiness. Nothing reality is emptiness. Nature is emptiness. Emptiness means also no nothingness. Just inherently no exist. Wisdom emptiness. So we can say wisdom emptiness, nature emptiness. So we recognize that one day when your realization comes. So then that time, these things, nothing, you know, for distracting anyone, anything. When you have a realization emptiness, then this all perceptions, whatever these situations, worldly things, nothing is distracting. Okay, so any questions? So now we go to meditate, yeah? Yes, actually I talk too much, sorry about that. So we go into the emptiness meditation.
It was
You
great,
can,
Khenpo. Not too
you're
much
welcome.
talk.
Okay, so we can meditate impermanent. Then you can meditate slowly, go into the interdependent and the emptiness. So when you're into the emptiness, you recognize your mind also no exist. All this, everything is no exist. Okay, so first do like this way, you know, impermanent meditation. Think about all when we was born to enter known, just little bit cultivate your mind. Think about how much change. You know, we recognize what true like enter know. Example like when you childhood, how many the siblings or where you was born, the town, city. So all think about that. They all change. You know, our childhood friends. Then think about when we went to the school. All these levels everywhere thing is all is impermanent. So no until no, you just think that's cultivate. It's recognized. Nothing is exist. So all is become emptiness. You cannot show anything like until when was born to until no, all is gone. All is just our memorize something, you know. So that means like you cultivate starting these things, memorize before when we was childhood all the way up to until no, everything's change. Everything's impermanent until no. So realize that, recognize, then all that is gone. Nothing is exist right now, or it's emptiness. So think that we meditate. Sometimes it's good for to do that, and you recognize that, and then something right now you think so important, you holding in your mind, you so strong, you have expectation, something you have something strong desire, or you have something really wanting something you not get that, or you going on something in the activities not really success for your mind is not happy, going on something you think about the same is like when we was childhood until no, what do we get, what do we lose? Always with expectation, going on something, it's always gone, it's emptiness. So you can release all that kind of thought. You can release everything, like what you holding in your mind. Meditate and permanent. Okay, so now we cultivate the thing about. Just go back to think about all your life. When you memorize, when you have memorized, when your childhood to all the way until now. O mane bene ho, mane bene ho, o mane bene ho, mane bene ho. How is meditation? You remember everything? Do you? So no, everything is gone. Recognize impermanent, and so then same thing. What happening past? So future all is the same thing. Present also same thing. Whatever you hold something, you can letting go. Nothing is important, right? No, you can see that or no? Do you? Yeah. See, when we try to hold to answer, no, we so much important things going on all the time. So no look back to again. Nothing is important. All is the same as dreaming. So you cannot show anything right now. So good things is just we survive until no. But then many things we think good, but actually comes not good. We think bad, it comes good, you know. So everything's uncertain, everything's a change. So that's also good things. Right now, our this mind, what we thinking something is good, but actually that is not correct. Sometimes we think it's bad, but that's also incorrect. So whatever our this mind, delusion mind make decision is not correct, okay? Until we get omniscient, then you make something decision, then that decision is correct, 100% pure. So now our mind is deluded, whatever we make decision is changed. So we think something very important today, we think right. Tomorrow comes, oh yeah, it's no more, no right. So today something we think is wrong. So tomorrow, yeah, it's correct, right? That means our mind is changing. Everything is changing. You can, nothing is certainty. Everything is uncertainty. So it's long as we have a deluded mind, then whatever we think is right, but it's not like that. Sometimes you meditate, right? Know what we did. This is really great to do like that. Think about all the way childhood, what is going on, recognize impermanent, or there you know what the when we did at that time. So it's impermanent. And then we think about like you went to schools, different levels, recognize classmates, teachers, also remember. You can remember them, but some like you can remember something you have strong karmic imprint. You can remember. If not strong karmic imprint, you cannot remember. So anyway, you can remember something like that, you know, your classmates, first of course, your childhood, your siblings, what are going on. Then think about, they always become different lifestyle because followed by karma, different. And then you think about all your classmates, teachers, what you did, all the different levels of classes. And then when you get a job, what you did, all this cultivate, think about everything is impermanent, everything is changing. So you see nothing is permanent there, and then think about internal, it's all is emptiness actually. You can show only the pictures. If without the pictures, we cannot show anything like internal, when was born to internal, all is emptiness, gone. So no, future also same thing like that. Right now, what we're talking, we're doing things together. The coronavirus affected in the world. So Some people has really upset, difficult times. Some people has maybe joy time, happy times. Just individually going on different situations. But then goes like monthly, goes years. This also one day I will memorize. Then say, oh, 2020. Like when we get in the 2030, 40, 50s, then they say, oh, 2020 get what is in the affected world. Like, so then this is also like same as dreaming. You recognize at that time. Go years, then this also right now what going on, or it's the same as dreaming. So then think that way, know something you have wanting something strongly holding your mind, you can let go. Because you recognize, oh, not important. So then you can get more wisdom, then your mind is more flexible. So then you can do something is a better, you know, way to get something, like good way to do things. Otherwise, the strong fixation, mind is a strong fixation, then that time is like we don't have wisdom. So that strong mind is a strong fixation to something, then that brings suffering. That is like create causes of suffering. So your mind let go of that, then your mind become more flexible, you have more wisdoms, then you do things become correct, not causes of suffering. So there's lots of different kind of meditation. That is one technique, meditate impermanent. So you can think about it just one day or 1 month or 1 year, then goes to 10 years, or you can think about 10, 20 years, you can think about 30 years, 40 years, like all the way until born to, when we was born to until now, you can think about all this, cultivate, recognize impermanent. So it's a great meditation. Sometimes you holding something strongly, you have some strong expectations, you didn't going to, you not successful, and your expectations too high, then that, you know, affected your mind, lose our peace and happiness. So that time, not easy to go, letting go, so you can cultivate this impermanent meditation, recognize, oh yeah, it's not important. Sometimes our mind is stuck with nothing important. We create so important. That's the reason many people lose life with nothing important things together, you know. Something like not important, then the thing so important that they fight that, then they lost their life. So you recognize impermanent, arise wisdom, then we see what thing is important, what thing is not important. So you get wisdom. If you meditate more impermanent, then emptiness means you really recognize what means emptiness. We talk about emptiness 1,000 times. You don't recognize. You just cultivate, meditate 1 hour impermanent. You get into the emptiness. Okay, make sense or no? Oh, it's that tonight meditation impermanent. I remember so many things when I was childhood, all the way cultivated, like thinking about my childhood, village. So that time is with the kids, we fight each other. So some remember again. And then that time is like friend enemies, like so many things going on with when we was kids, childhood. So mostly it's already gone and permanent. So some is there still good life, some is very difficult life. So many things change. We never know what's going to happen like that. When we was that time childhood, we are friends, enemies fighting together, or going on so many things, or is a change and permanent. So that time is of course we kids fight so all the time, nothing important. But that time we think so important. No, I look back to that situation, or it's just dreaming, nothing is important. How that situation is. So then I cultivate after going to join the monastery, and the monastery, what we doing things, so all is impermanent. That time what we thought expectation is all is just temporary, nothing is there exist. It's same as dreaming, then go thinking about, I think about all the going to study India, going to India, come to US, or it's like same as dreaming, all thing. So I cultivate like that way, remember many things, but also same time recognize everything is impermanent. So how your meditation? Anyone want to share something?
I'd like to say that was a great meditation. That I loved it, and thank you very much.
You're welcome. Yes, good.
Input, yes. I'm looking on page 9 of your Mahamudra Fivefold Path, and you say,
yes,
as an antidote to idleness, laziness, and the attachment to the activities of this life, we meditate on impermanence. Can you explain why idleness and laziness? Does that mean we have a precious life and we need to practice Dharma all the time?
Yeah, it's because we're thinking about, oh, I wanted to do tomorrow. So think about, oh, so someone say, you have to practice the Dharma. Say, oh no, it's okay. I'm okay. Right now I have to do these things more important. So I have time to do Dharma, maybe tomorrow, maybe next month, next year. Or I can do like when I get a retirement, something like that. Always we thinking about, oh, I can do tomorrow. Put always tomorrow. Tomorrow is never end, right? So that means that the person don't recognize impermanent. So who recognize impermanent, they don't put tomorrow in the tomorrow. They do right away. So, oh, no, I'm alive. No, it's very important. So my precious human body is not easy to get. So no, I get this right now. I have to do these actions. Otherwise, I don't know when I lost this, So my precious human body, that's the reason the antidote to this impermanent meditation is laziness. And get effort. When you meditate impermanent, you get effort to do things, good things. So then also you meditate impermanent, then you wanted to give up unnecessary things. So you wanted to give up temporary happiness. So you wanted to get more, something better future life. Think about more future life, not attached to this life. Impermanent meditation give like not attached to this life. They become more important to future life. Yeah.
Yes, as for me, I'm not sure. I found my thoughts going, I spend a lot of time thinking about the past, very little in the future. And I reached the point to where everything is total change. Nothing is constant.
Right.
And then everything became just open space.
Yes.
Where, say, well, endless space with, and then every once in a while something would come up, and then that would go away.
Yes.
So it's interesting. So my question is, now I'm, does that technique help you in your contemplation?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that technique also help more contemplate, more meditation, and also that technique release our suffering. So
I'm all for
something like
that.
we have a difficulty suffering, so that is impermanent. Then we recognize we know always stuck that suffering. Its suffering is impermanent. So suffering is impermanent. We don't just more suffering. And happiness also impermanent. We not attached to that.
Right, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
By the way, I appreciate every one of you out there, that's part of this group. I really feel great. A great teacher. He's speaking directly to me, and I'm sure he's speaking directly to everybody else. I really feel good about this process. So thank you all.
Oh, thank you. You ask questions. Your questions also really great. Okay, then anyone?
Hey, Khenpo.
Yes.
David, it was very interesting, the meditation. And I had the same situation like you said, thinking about the different things, everything changing. And very difficult to describe what you reach in the process. But at least I think that we can see when we remove all these layers and all these attachments that you said that is in our mind, you can see your luminosity in the mind and the clear mind. Very interesting. You have the capacity to enter to that luminosity that they said and the clear mind. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very difficult to describe. There are no words.
No words, yes. Beyond the words. Luminosity is beyond the words.
Yeah.
Yes.
There are no language. No way
yes, no language. That is great, actually, no language.
You just sense it.
Yeah, if the language, then people may complicate there.
Yeah. I'm very light.
Yes. Yes.
Very interesting. Thank you, Khenpo.
You're welcome.
Khenpo, thank you so much for your time and for your knowledge. And the meditation was wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Ask questions. Yeah, so now I think we finished the meditation and the question. So then tomorrow, yes, we have a morning 11 o'clock practice. The main important tomorrow is 7 o'clock. We have a Vesak celebration. So Vesak means Buddha's birthday, Buddha's enlightenment day, Buddha's past nirvana day. 3 days is the same full moon. So that is tomorrow. So we can do something good things. It's more powerful. Tibetan calendar is followed by the moon. Followed by the moon. So you recognize which day is today, like look to the moon. People recognize what day is today. And when full moon has very special energy when full moon comes. So that's everyone knows. People sometimes like regular people also a little bit crazy. Crazy is more crazy, and just ordinary beings also can be realized in that day. If you put effort, the Dharma is more more effective. That's why formal is more energy too. I think that's the reason Buddha is enlightened in the formal. Formal has more energy. Do you feel that or no? Do you recognize? Sometimes the 14th has more energy. Some people is a 15th formal. That's followed just different individually. So yeah, then thing already send the emails, the information, so you can download this sadhana from God Brahma's website. Tomorrow we're going to chant this Buddha Shakyamuni practicing and King of Aspiration prayers. So King of Aspiration prayers more focused for the deceased who pass away this during this coronavirus affected. We can pray for them. Okay, so any questions do you have?
I just would like to ask him both. So anybody can join, right? You don't need any text will be there. Just read. You can listen to the
yes,
prayers.
Everyone can join. You can share this information to everyone.
To understand.
Yes, so in the flyer has ID password, so then everyone can join. You can share everyone that. And bring more people, and we have 500 people capacity in this zone. So 500 people, then we cannot have more than that. So make sure come before early, otherwise you don't know get any.
Okay, good.
Okay, great, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Khenpo.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Share the flyers, share flyers, share friends, share your families, everyone. Thanks. See you tomorrow. Yeah. Bye.
Bye. Night.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night. Yeah. Bye.
Night.
Bye, Linda. See you. Bye.
Bye. Bye, Debbie.
Bye, Ella Marie. I didn't know you were there. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Bye. Bye, Khenpo.
Bye.